everybody, Christine here with another fun weekly episode of the Co-Living Code Show. I am the CEO of Kndrd, which is software for the co-living industry. And as most of you guys know, I was in Helsinki, Finland last week speaking on my two favorite subjects, technology and co-living. And also Kndrd launched its brand new design, a brand new platform, UX, UI, redesigned completely from the bottom up. And super excited. It's live. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts. It's gorgeous. I'm very, very happy with it. So it was a busy week last week, but I am back in Southern California. And this week we have an episode from Southern California, from Venice Beach. And it's the guys over at Haven Coliving, which I actually visited back in August of this year. Really cool. Now these are the Japanese sleeping pods. Is what they're doing. That's their concept. And you can check them out online, obviously. And I have both co-founders on. I was glad to get both of them on. It's Ben Katz and Robert O'Neill. And Haven operates membership-based living communities that function as a residential wellness retreat with amazing new friendships to be made all at a highly affordable rate, and they're walking distance from the beach there in Venice. This is all made possible by bringing Asian-style density to U.S. coastal cities. And right now they're solely focused on Los Angeles, and they have 96 members total at their first property. And so Ben, let me give you some background on him first. Prior to founding Haven Coliving, Ben Katz founded Kndrd.com, a leading online bank with over 200,000 Americans and processed over $1 billion in annual transactions. He started his career in leveraged finance at Deutsche Bank after graduating from Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, with a BS and an MBA. And then Robert started his career in Tech M&A at JPMorgan in San Francisco and Montgomery Co in Los Angeles. He owns and manages 17 residential and commercial properties and graduated with degrees in finance and accounting from Southern Methodist University. And personally, I love seeing people with finance and real estate backgrounds coming into co-living because it just gives this industry even more legitimacy. So welcome to the show, both Ben and Robert from Haven Coliving in Venice Beach, California. Enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Co-Living Code Show, where I bring on operators, experts, investors, real estate developers from around the world to talk about all things co-living, to share their personal journey, talk about how they started, and really excited because we actually have Ben and Robert on from Haven Coliving, which is in Venice Beach, California. I actually was lucky enough to go there a couple months ago, check it out. Really, really cool concept that I know recently launched not too long ago. So both of you, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us. Thanks for having us, Christine.
Okay, so Ben, let's start with you. Tell us about how you guys started Haven.
Yeah, sure. So after my last company, which was an online bank, I felt like I was really burned out and like I needed to focus more on health and wellness and self-care, as well as reestablishing connections that I had lost, like kind of social connections that I had lost being a busy dad, being a busy business person. And so I was thinking about how we could improve, the city. And one way we were hoping to execute and have executed against is the idea of community living focused around health and wellness.
Yeah, because you guys, there was a lot of yoga instructors there. There were, somebody that does breath work when I was there. It was amazing. Once when I walked in, you could see that vibe kind of throughout the whole community. So that's the same concept you guys are going to do even as you expand out?
Yeah, we think that the community is strongest when it's built around a common passion. And we can't think of a better passion than health and wellness and mindfulness and kindness to be kind of our guiding light for how we select members, how we build our activities for our communities, and how we live.
And then what month did you guys officially open?
We've been open since March 2019.
Perfect. Okay, March of 2019. Awesome. And then Robert, your role, do you guys want to each talk about your role in Haven?
Sure. I kind of do the day-to-day operations. I kind of have been trying to perfect the, running a co-living house with this many people over the past few months. So we're kind of on version 3, just kind of starting out from just Google spreadsheets to where we are now. And so I do most of all the day-to-day stuff.
Nice. And then how many units, so how many beds total do you guys have at that first location?
We've got 96 beds in our first location. It was kind of to prove the concept. We've had 6,000 applications for the 96 spots we have. And we're, hoping to expand to LA and some other cities, San Jose and DC in the near future.
And then do you guys, so explain the pod, because again, we have people from around the world that listen to the show, watch, of course they hear about the bunk beds being placed in rooms. You guys actually do pod living. So and I know that originated in Japan. Do you guys want to talk about that and how you are maximizing space that way?
Sure. At the end of the day, what people need for sure out of any living space, other than of course safety, right, is they need quiet, they need darkness, and they need privacy. And that's how you get a good night's sleep. And so pods, invented in Asia and used for decades to provide those 3 solutions, privacy, darkness, and quiet in a shared room environment, allow for a good night's sleep and for a place to chill out or work on your laptop or listen to some tunes or read without needing the square footage of your own private room, which is ultimately what drives the major part of your cost in real estate, particularly in expensive urban areas.
Definitely. And then what kind of events are you guys hosting there at Haven? And do you open those events out to the public?
Most of our events are just for the Haven members. We don't really have a lot of outside people, unless they're friends of one of the current members come to the house. What we try to do is encourage all the existing members to show off their talents. There's so many people in different disciplines that I'd never even known about, and I learn something new every day. So we try to encourage those people to share with the community as much as possible. But we also bring outside people in. We brought a celebrity chef in, Seamus Mullen, to do a cooking class. We've done Soleil Weller, who came in and did who's like the wellness coach to Fleetwood Mac. She did a yoga class and a kind of a tonic making class. And we had some acro yogis come. So we were trying to bring some interesting people from outside, kind of in the Venice area. But really it's important for us, for the members, to share what they're doing. So that's really what we're encouraging. And there's probably 2 to 3 classes a day happening at Haven right now. So, and it's from all different kind of ranges of wellness, from mindfulness to meditation to self-defense.
Do you guys have any vacancies? Are you guys 100% occupied, or do you guys have vacancies right now?
We're pretty much 100% occupied at this point.
Nice. Well, congrats on that. That was fast. Yeah, you guys pulled up fast. I love that. And, I know, Robert, you have that background already in real estate and rentals. Like, how does co-living, how are some things you've seen that differ when you move over to the co-living model?
It's not really like we do a 6-page application for everybody who comes and joins us. We do a in-person tour or a virtual tour before people join the community. We only ask one question on our website, which is, what can you contribute back to the community? So it's really nothing like a typical landlord-tenant relationship. You're really part of bringing people together and part of making the community stronger. So I love it, but I can't really compare it to typical landlord-tenant relationships at all, because it's not. It's really a community of people who are growing.
And then, Ben, what are your guys' expansion plans? You said maybe into Los Angeles. Are you guys ever going to go out of Los Angeles, out of California?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we started this company because we thought that there were 2 big problems needing to be solved. One was housing affordability or inaffordability, and one was loneliness. And so that's a real issue, at least in every coastal American city. But I suspect it's an issue in many major cities around the world. And so I hope that there will be havens in leading cities around the world and leading places around the world, especially places that have a health and wellness bent. So, somewhere like a Bali or a Kauai or a Tulum, places where people would seek out mindfulness retreats and seek out wellness retreats or yoga retreats and bond with nature and this sort of thing. So I think over time, hopefully, we can even incorporate non-urban areas that fit our community's needs and passions.
And then the demographics, so we know it's mostly, people in the wellness space, obviously, health and wellness. Is it male, females? What's the split on that? And what is the average age?
Yeah, so predominantly we have a female membership. Most of the applications we get are about 60% female. The average age is 27 at the location, and the average stay is about 6 months.
Oh, got it. Okay, 6 months, perfect. And then do you guys have a minimum? Like, what's your minimum?
We do. We allow month-to-month stays. Most people choose the 6-month option just because, and we actually encourage the month-to-month because we like people to, because it's a different type of living. Living in a community is really, it's an impact to your life. So we tell people to try it out first, but most people are on the 6-month agreement now just because they want to be part of the community and be there longer.
Do you guys charge a premium to do month to month?
Yeah, it's $100 extra to come month to month rather than the 6 months.
Okay, no, and everybody listening right now or watching, I say that all the time to please, if you can offer that, just offer it and charge a premium because people are willing to pay that premium for the freedom, but a lot of times they'll end up staying longer anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, okay, so Ben, do you guys have other, separate co-working, like a space? Well, actually I saw it when I was there. So yeah, talk about some of the other amenities that you guys include. It's not just rent and community.
Yeah, the biggest amenity, of course, is Venice Beach. We're 6 blocks from one of the best beaches in continental America. And so that's a huge draw. Obviously, there's a lot of famous restaurants nearby. Gold's Gym, which is central to the history of health and wellness. Muscle Beach. Dozens of yoga studios, from hot yoga to cold yoga, are all available. All temperatures of yoga. And so Venice is one of our biggest attractions. We then have amazing roof decks where people can, lay out in sun or do rooftop yoga at sunset or at sunrise. We have a co-working space that's for members, so they don't have to, find a cafe or get a WeWork. We have a movie theater as well as 4 living rooms and 4 high-end kitchens for the community. And we also have a yoga and meditation room, a separate gym, and then a nice courtyard area. So the idea is to provide enough space that you can get away from people if you need a private phone call or a private moment, but also a lot of shared spaces where group talks can go on, group activities, shared cooking, and 24 people are sharing each kitchen. And so there's a lot of opportunities for commingling and great new relationships to be formed. And what's special about Haven, especially in the co-living space, is that because all the people who live here share your common passion, you're really likely to find a new best friend or someone that you are going to be a long-term collaborator with because they share your excitements and your passions.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. And again, it was nice to see. And that was those units, that was brand new construction, right? Was that ground up construction?
Yeah, we really love the idea of taking existing space and then doing the last bit that makes it possible for great co-living to happen. It allows us to focus on providing the experience and the community and not on construction and development, which we find to be an impressive skill set that we have not yet exercised.
And then what type of technology are you guys using right now to kind of power your guys' home and the growth?
Yeah, we make use of a lot of the IoT products out there, Nest thermostats and Ring cameras and all that stuff. And then We use property level stuff like AppFolio for our, to manage all the members in space, as well as e-sign software, CRM software, stuff like that to help us, manage the inbound inquiries as well as, maintenance and all that other stuff.
Nice. And then for the cameras, where do you guys put cameras?
We have cameras on all the doors and all the backyards, and we have some cameras in the common spaces as well.
Nice. I know, weren't you telling me a story where everybody kind of had the doors open and people were just walking in because it looked like people were coming in and out because you're so close, you're very close to the beach.
Yeah, it's a walkable area, so there's always different people walking by. So we want to, make sure it's a safe and secure community.
Definitely. That's awesome. And then what else is in the future for Haven, other than expanding into other areas?
So from my perspective, we'd like to get to a place where we could have even like a clubhouse as well. So a place where our many health and wellness practitioners could bring their clients to, like, let's call it a Soho house meets an Equinox meets like a fun bar, kind of together. Maybe a juice bar in the case of our community. But
yes,
the idea would be like, how do we create a larger gathering area? Eventually we're going to have many communities. And so how do we create gathering areas where the multiple communities can come together as one, that we can give our many talented fitness professionals a place to work out of, whether that's a Pilates studio or a gym that they can work out of with their clients in kind of a workspace that's not right on campus is kind of one of our ideas. And then I already mentioned earlier, but the idea of having kind of like aspirational and epic additional locations that aren't all like standard living, but like places like a Bali, places like a Tulum, a Kauai, a Santa Barbara even, just places where you might want to go 1 month a year while you're doing 11 months a year in LA or a major city.
Awesome. Good stuff. And then this is the question I ask everybody, and I always end with this question and I'll have each of you answer it. Where do you each see co-living, if we fast forward 10 years out, where do you see it as an industry?
I think it's going to be an integral part of any major city because, I think more and more people, 2/3 of Americans are moving to major cities in the next 10 years. And there's really just not enough space, and we're not going to build it fast enough to get people set up in all the cities that people want to go to. So, we have single family homes, we have multifamily apartments, we have studio apartments, and they're really just needs. And I think this is kind of like an extra category that's going to really develop into something that's going to be easy, flexible, and affordable for people that want to be in major cities.
Yeah, Christine, you know this space better than us, I think. And so you've seen more global trends, but my sense is that really the United States is just beginning to be aware of this, and that this is something that's been around in Asia and Europe for certainly decades. And I'm not a historian well enough to know how far back decades. And so you've already seen the amassment of north of $10 billion of assets going into the space in Europe explicitly. India, Southeast Asia has similar sort of dollar size investments. Only just now are you hearing of the first multi-$100 million and maybe low single-digit billion-dollar financings of the space. And this is in a space like real estate where there's trillions and trillions of dollars of assets that we're talking about. And so obviously the capital markets are going to have to professionalize. The operators are going to have to professionalize. Legacy multifamily and other legacy commercial providers are going to, start to compete in their own way. And in general, I'm excited about it. I think one thing for sure is that people's living environments should reflect their personalities and their passions. And so I think that the era of a plain vanilla anything is over. People want to stay in something that's very purpose-built, whether they're someone who works out a lot and they want to stay at an Equinox hotel, or there's someone who works out a lot and they want to go have a great home gym. And so there's going to be more and more flavors of co-living built out, of course, whether it's granny flats and solutions for people in their 60s and 70s, or solutions for families or for working single parents, or in our case, for people who are passionate about health and wellness. There's going to be more and more of this. And at the end of the day, we're all searching for in real life community, IRL community, in this kind of mess of digital screen time and FOMO and kind of the future. And there's going to be a need to lower our cost of living, our environmental imprints and such, and the future is going to be giant. And I bet it's not even called co-living at some point. It's just going to be normal living.
Nice, very well said, and I second all of that. And I think you're right. I think they're now finally starting to catch on as far as the capital markets. Just in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago, I went to this capital summit for co-living, and hearing the way that the banks and the big investors are talking now, I was so elated, because you could just tell the verbiage has even changed. Like, they're very excited about this space, and that changed very recently. So it will be fun to watch that in the next 10 years. And I'm so glad you both came on, because I know you guys are both very busy. And I even said, I'm like, okay, I'd love to have both of you on, but one, that's fine. So Ben and Robert, thank you so much for coming on the show this week. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to everyone in this industry who's pushing it forward. Let's keep this safe for everyone. Let's keep it fun for everyone. Let's respect our neighborhoods and our communities, and let's make amazing experiences happen.
Yes, let's do that. I agree.
All right. Thanks so much, Christine. Cheers.
Yep. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you want to learn more about co-living, you could check out my book on Amazon, The Co-Living Code. And of course, if you're looking for the perfect software to power your co-living concept, check out Kndrd.io, Kndrd.io. Thanks. And a quick thank you to SPX Agency for all of the graphics, animation, and design on our YouTube channel.